Injury-wise, just like I said earlier in the week, everybody's trending in a good place to be able to play. Looking forward to that. When it comes to this game, the guys have been doing a really good job of practice this week. Everybody's been all in. Everybody's focused. And looking forward to play. Looking forward to get us a win. All right, so any questions?
What are your impressions of your two new receivers so far, and what role might they be able to play this week?
Yeah, they're both two different guys. And Mechie is a really good slot receiver. I'm not saying he can't play outside, but, man, he's a master when it comes to the route concepts in the slot, be able to punch in and out of the routes, being able to create separation because of his quickness. When you look at A.D., man, you put him out, he is a true X receiver. And he is one that can win the one-on-one battle, the slants, digs, go balls. So we're going to try to use those guys to what they do best. Now, they're still learning our system. All right, still learning our system. They still have today to go to see exactly how we're going to look at those guys being a part of what we're doing this weekend. So I can't promise you that, but they'll definitely be a part of what we got going on.
What will it mean to get Garrett back out there?
Anytime you get a player of that magnitude back, it always helps your team. I think that's really common sense. I mean, he's one of the best in this league. So anytime you get a chance to be out there with the rest of the guys really helps us as an offense.
With a receiver, to acclimate him, is it possible to have him contribute early with not having a full knowledge of the playbook? Be like,
yeah.
Here's your assignment on this play.
Absolutely it is. But you have to be very specific on what he's doing and what you're asking him to do, and him completely knowing what his job is in that instance. So that can happen. But we want to make sure that we're treating those players the right way to where they won't go out and make any mistakes. And they understand that. And I think most teams will do that. But you're right. You know, there are some instances where this is all you got. But then again, if you do that every time they're in the game, the defense will know exactly what that player is doing.
A guy like Mitchell with that,
Yep.
with that age and that level of seeming ability, is he the kind of guy who could really just change his scenery and then things kind of click? Because it seemed to be, it wasn't happening there, but
Yeah.
But could it happen?
Yeah. Well, that's the plan. That's the plan for him to come here, get a change of scenery, because he is definitely talented. And I think you guys already know that from what he did in college, come to the NFL. So he's excited to be here. I do know that. Funny story, I didn't know that he actually went to school, high school with my daughter, right, in Texas. You know, so we have a connection there. So looking forward to getting him out there, and you just see how he's built in his pads. He looks like a true X receiver. So I'm excited for having that player.
Did you know each other?
I didn't. I don't know if he knew her, but when I come to start linking things together, I come to find out he went to Ridgepoint High School. My daughter went to Ridgepoint High School. They was there at the same time. So pretty funny story.
Did you say, call your daughter,
I did. And I think she's on social media, they have some of the same friends that went to the high school. So again, so that means it's family, right?
Question has to be asked. Do you plan on naming a starter Sunday?
Say it again.
A starter quarterback for Sunday.
We'll have a quarterback.
All right, so just follow up on that. Either you're not going to tell us Fields or Taylor.
We'll have a quarterback.
Unrelated to having a quarterback.
Okay.
Would you like to get to a point here where you have a set quarterback where whether it's Taylor, Fields, whatever, he is your guy so that you can deal with the ebbs and flows where, say, it's Justin or it's Taylor, they have a bad game on Sunday. It's not, okay, it's the other one next week. We're riding with this guy the rest of the season. He is our quarterback.
Well, the thing is, I don't worry about those things. Our guys know who's going to be the quarterback. I know who's going to be the quarterback. It's just not my responsibility to have to tell you that.
Okay, so the quarterback, okay.
Thank you.
Quincy told us the other day that you guys let him know he was going to be running with the twos, and he said it was because of the way he's been playing. Training him. What can you say about?
Here's what I would say about that. I keep all of those conversations in house between me and him, even though you guys know it already. That's first thing. The second thing is we do things a certain way here, and that's how we're going to operate. And the third thing is Quincy's going to be just fine. Just trust me on that. He'll be just fine.
Aaron, with Mozzie Smith, you talked before about Mitchell getting a change of scenery.
Yep.
How much might a change of scenery help him and obviously things didn't go according to plan in Dallas.
Yeah.
It's well documented. What did you see from his film in Dallas, and what can he do for you guys?
Well, I go back to when he was in Michigan. At this point, I was in Detroit, and he came. He visited with us, and man, he's a huge man. He's strong. Has all the traits that you're really looking for when it comes to a defensive tackle. And obviously things didn't work out well with him in Dallas. And just like AD, man, we're hoping that he can get a change of scenery and come here with us and be able to provide, what we're looking for also when it comes to defensive tackles. And, man, he's a good-looking dude. I'm just telling you. And hopefully we can get him on the right track. And listen, I think our D-line coach will. I do. But we could definitely utilize a man of that size and stature to be a part of our D-line. So hopefully that'll come around here. He'll do a good job for us.
What can you say about the impact Myles Garrett has on the game, and then also what he does for the rest of that defensive line? Because some of those other guys had a pretty good season. I had a feeling I had something to do with him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. He well, let me say this. Collins, I think he's having an outstanding year, and that's in the run and pass. I know he's been known as just a true pass rusher, but he's a very physical player that has a good amount of pass rush moves, and a lot of that has a lot to do with Garrett because you have to have people looking at where he's at all the time and being able to have 2, sometimes 3 guys to contain him, which opens up for everybody else. So. Garrett needs a lot of attention, and he's just that type of player. But our guys are ready for that. And listen, we had that with Watt. We had to give him a lot of attention too. So it won't be anything new for us. And there's going to be times when guys going to be one-on-one. And when you're one-on-one, you got to win your battle. And that's just what it is. You're going to play against good players every week. And our guys understand that. So he has some attention, but we also have to win our battles when we're one-on-one.
I imagine just about every game that Garrett plays,
Yeah.
they're facing, give him extra attention,
Oh, yeah.
calling double and all that stuff. You look at his sack totals and they don't look real year by year. I mean, it's ridiculous what he does. So how is he still able to have success when you and every team that faces trying to make it their priority?
Yeah, and that's a good question because when you look at the last game and you look at the sacks that he had, a lot of those sacks were just easy win. He gonna make it. A lot of those sacks because the guys in coverage did a really good job of stopping him. The guys that were rushing were able to actually flush the quarterback to where he was. And, man, he was just relentless at that time and ended up getting sacked. I think some of those sacks he had, I think the ball was held 3.5, damn near 4 seconds. So now when everyone else is doing their job, that allows him to actually win because he's a relentless player.
How impressed have you been with running back Judkins?
Hard nose, another guy that we watch quite a bit, from Ohio State. He brings a physical presence to that offense, and with them running as many gap scheme runs that they have, we know what that means. That they're trying to get the ball downhill as much as they can with this player. So we have to do a good job. That's the one thing we have to do very, very well is be able to contain this run game and not allow him to chip these runs off, these 5, the 7, the 6. Because once you allow that, man, that just puts them ahead of the stick. So we have to do a good job of getting negative yards with him in this run game to get us ahead in those situations.
When you're doing your self-scout during the bye week and you look at no interceptions for your defense,
Yeah.
you look at that as luck, scheme, execution. I'm not asking you for the solution.
Yeah, absolutely.
The solution is, but what overall did you feel like when you looked at that problem?
That's another good question because usually, and this is the way I think, to be honest with you, I look at it 2 different ways. If you're playing a good amount of man coverage, that's one thing that has to stand out is a good amount of PBUs. And completion percentage for a quarterback needs to be down. I would think quarterback rating needs to be down also because now you're locked on a guy and you should be denying the ball. When you're playing a good amount of zone coverage, man, you expect that your interception rate will be up because guys are being able to see the quarterback and being able to make plays. We do a little bit of both, in Wilks' scheme. And the thing that no one's happy when you don't have the interception because you just tip balls and things like that. You get them. And, man, some of that is luck. We just haven't had a chance to get those. But when you do get a chance to get your hands on the ball, we haven't caught some of them either. So it's a little bit of of everything combined. Luck, we got to make the play. And when you're in zone coverage, man, you got to be able to read the quarterback and make plays. When you're in man, you got to be able to deny the ball. So it goes. I know it's a long answer, but that's just the way I think when it comes to that.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
All good? All right.